You're dealing with essentially two Himalayan kingdoms which are pretty much isolated from the plains. To the north is China and the big Tibetan Plateau, and they're not very much connected with China. And to the south of both of them is India, and that's a very complex country with different languages and all the rest. But there are people who identify themselves as Nepali and people who identify themselves as Bhutanese.
There was a king in Bhutan, and he requested from the king in Nepal for some workers to come to southern Bhutan to help clear the forests there, help develop that part of the country. And so they sent, I think it might have been around 40 families or something like that, from Nepal to southern Bhutan. They began developing that land, creating a home there. They were farmers there and other trades. Well, over a few generations, new kings came and went, and there was a king that came into power and viewed the southern Bhutanese, the ethnically Nepalese people, as a threat to the cultural integrity of the rest of the country.
डेट यति दिनमा निस्किनु भनेन 10 दिनको 15 दिनको डेट दियो हैन त्यो डेटमा हामीलाई निस्किन भने घरमा आएर आगो लाउने आर्मी पुलिस छोड्ने आगो लाउने हैन त्यसो गर्ने भएर चाहिँ हामीले कतिजनालाई नटेरी बस्दाखेरि आगो लायो आर्मी पुलिसले कुट्यो हैन कुटपिट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब हामीले उनीहरुको डेट भरिमा हामी यति डेटमा निस्किन सक्दैनौं भन्दाखेरि उनीहरुले यो डेटमा निस्किनै पर्छ भनेर उनीहरुले डेट दिएपछि चाहिँ हामी निस्किनु कर लाग्यो अब घरमा आएर आगो लागेपछि हामीले कहाँ बस्ने कहाँ खाने.
But in Bhutan there is this, in addition to everything, that they are a unique country that's coming together with this notion of we have a quality of life which we ought to preserve. There's a price we pay. We have to sort of ask foreigners, ask the Nepalis to leave. We have to ask the poor or student or hitchhiker types not to come. We don't want them. They would spoil the image. We want people to come who have lots of money because this is the way we're going to earn our foreign income. We don't have any oil. We don't have any oil, any gold. It's going to depend upon people coming in with money they're prepared to spend. And so from that point of view, it makes a lot of sense. But then we step back and say, but what happens to this group of people? You have this human tragedy where it's been years and years where they sort of had no place to go.
First family arrived April 23rd of 2009. It was the Limbu family, and since then it's just been a really amazing journey for us. We would often go to the grocery store, and that was like a whole new world to them, you know, because they're used to, in the camps, food would be brought in and distributed evenly between people, and so that was kind of what they were used to, or at the very least an open market in maybe Kathmandu or something in Nepal. So to walk into this grocery store and see every conceivable option and fruit and vegetable and packages of things that they have no idea what they are. So to try to explain this with no language available, it became really interesting. And one of the early times in particular, we went in and they wanted to buy some meat, and they go in and they see this whole area of meat and they have no idea what it is, because they're used to seeing a whole animal being butchered in front of them and sold at that time. So they have all this meat in these plastic packages and they have no idea what it is. So here I am standing in the grocery store trying to explain this. And so what it ended up being was, they'd say, well, what is that? Or point to it, you know. And I'd say, that's chicken. You know, they don't know what that word means. So here I am in the grocery store being like, looking around, anybody watching me? And then be like, bark, 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 bark. And they'd laugh and they'd say, yep, we want some of that. And then we'd go and I'd have to do the same thing for pork and the same thing for beef. And people in the grocery store just looking at me like,
बिमारी हुन्थ्यो हैन मान्छे बिमारी हुन्थ्यो कति मान्छे मरेको गर्थ्यो नि त नि हामीलाई युनिसेफ हैन दबाई पानी गर्ने युनिसेफ संस्था होइन युनिसेफले चाहिँ हामीलाई दबाई पानी गर्थ्यो अब अन्तिम अब यहाँको जस्तो त्यति साह्रो राम्रो उपचार चाहिँ हुन्थेन उहाँ चाहिँ अन्तिम भइसकेपछि अब रिफ्युजी भएर अन्तिम भएपछि चाहिँ हस्पिटल लाँदा लाँदै मर्थ्यो कोही होइन
Yeah, probably.
Take that one out, Sancho. Take that out.
Right on there.
Who's that a picture of?
Sancho's picture.
When did that picture? When is that?
कहिले खिचेको अरे?
टिभीले बिमार भएको बेला
At the time of
टिभीले भेटेको बेला
That's when she was sick with TB,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A little younger. Texas. There's a lot of Bhutanese in Texas, right? Where else? Nevada. What city in Nevada? I think we all take for granted the blessings in our life. And the benefits that we don't realize we had by being born in a certain place and to a certain family. The resources that we had given to us, that were available to us. And when you have the opportunity then to recognize that and realize that you have a lot to give, that's really a great thing.
It's just like another family where you're kind of helping them just to adjust to their life. So they have 6 girls, and so they are in 5 different schools. So that alone is amazing because, you know, it's paperwork for each school and orientation for each school and conferences several times a year for each school and summer school for each school, and it's even just the education piece of it is a lot. So oftentimes when I come over, they will have things that came home from their teachers that the parents can't read. The older sisters take care of a lot of that now, but there might be things like signature forms for field trips or report cards or homework. A lot of times I help with homework, or I bring my son over and he helps them with homework. Conferences, I've been to several conferences, not all of them, but I like to go just to see how things are going. And a lot of it is just fun. I just go for fun to hang out with the kids or just to have coffee, or it's great. I love going over there.
I've learned a lot about as great and as free a country as we have, how hard it is for people that have nothing to exist in this country. You know, the way that people are treated that don't have money or resources is often absolutely embarrassing. And I think that that's been hard for me professionally, because I see how people look at and people just treat people that are poor. You know, and we talk about a great country and we talk about the freedoms that we have, and yet boy, I tell you, if you don't have money or power, you don't have much in our country. And what I would hope is that we would at least give people that have nothing a sense of dignity, and we don't even really give them that.